Pardon me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want your attention. Let me take you back to 1887 in Basel, Switzerland, Zionist convention. We get all hurt to the rest of the henchman. The Socialist leaders to return to Zion. 1903, the supported by the British. Pro-Zionist minded Roxy. Today I spit it the way the whites been aided with the heart about the declaration. With the Rothschild, another free Palestinian land, BBN cages, civilian resettlement plan, partition. Many got killed from the road, long trip, and the war got built with no opposition. West Bank Gaza resembling a prison. One day to see the liberation of Palestine. 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 I'm anti-truth, I'm anti-oppression, anti-Zionism, anti-oppression. American aid and use of the engine. American-made guns, key to murder weapons. They're claiming Hamas on a fear and commotion. But how would you feel if your land was stolen? Living in a prison, your spirit is broken. Half your family, can you fathom the
draw the line, let me bump it close to all the folks in Obama, so the people are hopes. Gave the money to suckers while our communities still fall. Withdrew the troops but started another war. Colonized and terrorized, creating the oil crisis, so they can make a killing on food and gas prices. Prisons are spinning, they trying to lock up the future. Militarized borders and control computers. All the stupid bumping music that ain't out for the shortest. Privatizing schools and police, but in the hallways can't be gone without a broken. Rise up, be ready, brought the family with us, and we hold the machetes.
riding the fence, riding the fence. Too many people be riding the fence. Yeah, you say you ready for war, but are you convinced? I'm not convinced. If you're a rider, freedom fighter, crowd excited, then let's do this. We can make one big united, middle finger to the U.S. Give me the bravest and the truest, fuck the hippest and the coolest. We gon' spark this revolution and cross this off our to-do list. Put your foot down if you look down on this criminal system. Put your book down and get shook down like my niggas in prison. Don't be condemning and condoning their actions in one sentence. Make up your mind, you decide. Is you a patriot or a menace to society? So riot or sit by quietly. But don't pull out the flag and try to say you gon' ride with me. You flip-flopping like hip-hop, I don't get locked in that trick box. Get got like Big and Pop, shit's got to stop. I am the people, not the pig. I repeat after Fred, so please blow my brains out if I ever forget.
I'm with the independent thinkers. I'm down with the movers and the shakers and the ex-Henny drinkers, the non-smokers, the health advocates, the non-voters. Soul soldiers. I'm on the side of the tracks with the hood gardens. The little child that no color inside the margins. I don't ride the fence, I cultivate my strength. Cause if it ain't about power, it don't make sense. I've been down with Boogie Down since BDP and Brown Pride and Black Power. OG told me choose battles wisely. In the struggle, don't forget your children and your wife. If you don't see me on the podium preaching it, every day I hope my every action is teaching it. Cause revolution is a process. It's not a speech or a panel. They bite off more than you can handle.
Estudiantes por educación gratuita, with workers uprising and
Yeah.
We all know that we worth more than a dollar.
No sign on my head said I'm worth much more than a dollar. No price on my broke down. I ain't got a dollar in my name. I see no change, but I gotta pick it up someday. Hey lady, the dollar
Check.
store, they got a dollar to my
Yeah. Check, check, check. Can everybody hear me okay? Can everybody kind of come over around this way? Let's all get closer together. Can I get an ice out of Portland? Ice out of Portland. Feds out of Portland. Feds out of Portland. Say it loud and say it clear. Here. Say it. We will not put up with ICE. Say it loud and say it clear. Attacks on immigrants and against his deployment and military National Guard. Do you love Portland? I love Portland. It's a beautiful place to live with kind, caring people who take care of each other and who take care of their neighbors. And nothing shows that more than the people who have been protesting consistently outside of ICE for over 100 days now. The protesters in front of that facility are people who deeply care about their neighbors and who refuse to stand down and refuse to be quiet while people are getting kidnapped off our streets. In the media, make it seem as though we are violent, evil people, when literally, shame on him. But we see through that, and politicians have come up and said, do not take the bait. Stay calm, stay back. Don't come where the federal agents are. And I say that that is actually exactly why. Because he wants us the tactic to quell our resistance and to stop our protests. So we actually are not going to give him what he wants. Indicative of how much Portland cares about our community and how we are willing to fight back when people are coming up against us. So thank you all so much for being out here today. We're gonna march to the ICE facility. And before we march, I'll give you all just a little housekeeping information on what it's gonna look like and some safety tips. But we're gonna get started with a few speeches first, so you can hear a little bit about the orgs that helped to organize this day. And with Izzy, my friend over here from Portland for Palestine.
All of this was preventable. Portland's conditions that they do not detain people for longer than 12 hours. Point in the last 14 years. But here we are now. We stare invasion in the They say they can't revoke the permit, citing fear of retaliation from the Trump administration. First of all, why didn't you revoke the permit before Trump was elected? Second, you don't work for Trump. To fold from their pressure is to concede that you do work for Trump, and you will go down. Politicians do not respond to morality or to pressure, and for that I cannot thank you all enough. It is truly the honor of a lifetime to stand with you here today. It was only after months of protest from you that City Council even acknowledged the problem. It was only after we disrupted that they finally issued a notice of violation for ICE's conditional permit. This is not a coincidence. This is the power of the people in action. Scared, because what we are doing here is working. As oppression intensifies, so too does resistance. That is one of the most inspiring things I've seen here. When things get hard, many people want to back off or call it quits, but I see the opposite here. When ICE and Trump escalate, our numbers increase because we understand that it is critical now more than ever that we show up for our immigrant communities precisely because they are under attack. Last week, someone tried to drive her car through the protest. Did you all run away? No, the crowd gathered directly in front of her car, shielding each other with their own bodies until she was forced to turn around. That is brave, it is inspiring, it is revolutionary, and most importantly, it's the attitude we approach ICE with. All our struggles are connected, from Portland to Palestine. While ICE tears families apart, kidnaps people, and traffics them into concentration camps, Israel bombs and starves Palestinians. While Trump uses our tax dollars to deploy the National Guard against us for standing up for our immigrant communities, Israel uses our tax dollars to deploy their Navy against the flotilla delivering aid to Gaza. The message is clear. Interfering with the billionaires' imperialist, colonialist agenda will be met with further oppression and violence. All of these oppressions are connected, and the way forward is unity, because there are more of us than there are billionaire, warmongering, colonizer assholes. We have them outnumbered. Together, we are stronger than them, and we can defeat them. The people! And to From Portland to Palestine, occupation is a crime.
Portland to Palestine, occupation is a crime.
When immigrants are under attack, what do we do? When Palestine is under attack, what do we do?
Get up, fight back.
When Portland is under attack, what do we do? When our fucking neighbors are under attack, what do we do? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Izzy. All right, all right. Well, next up, we're going to hear from my friend Sean here. Yeah, so she has been subject. Her balcony actually faces the ICE facility, so she has
And taking footage of some demonstrators be attacked from the roof of the ICE facility with flashbangs and tear gas while their comrades on the ground stormed them from outside their gate. They have deployed these chemical weapons in our with no regard for the 209 units in the low for through 2 to 3 blocks. I have watched them be attacked, tackled, beat, and Trump wants us all to believe this, that I have been more stressed and more afraid for my safety. Trump has mobilized all these troops in our neighborhood. I don't like waking up to hearing explosions underneath my window. I don't like falling asleep with my portable AC in my window and waking up choking and vomiting because they've deployed tear gas with no warning. And I am tired of capturing footage of small groups of demonstrators being attacked with chemical weapons and with full force. Out to Reach Community Development, who owns and manages our property, and asked them, what are you guys going to do to protect us? And they have done nothing except put air scrubbers in the elevator lobbies on the 5 floors and given us a air purifier that was literally air filters and cardboard boxes taped together to go over a box fan. And yesterday evening, Beth Saharis, who is a property manager, our building or units, she claimed that ICE, that if they are acting as told us we are no longer allowed to have freedom to have guests in our home, but all of our Fourth Amendment rights by telling us if ICE enters the building, they will not stop them. That is not is a nonprofit. And ICE and our administration collateral.
When Gray's Landing is under attack, what do we do? When our neighbors are under, what do we do? Woo! Thank you, Shawnee. Thank you for letting everybody know about is actually a war zone that people in that building and that this entire neighborhood are having to deal with. And we should all be so pissed that our city is still not doing something about it. Some people mentioned it earlier, but the city actually has the ability to revoke the permit for the ICE facility to be in that neighborhood over there. And our group has been pushing for months and months and months to get it revoked. And finally, they issued a land use violation about 10 days before Trump said the troops were going to be deployed, right? So it does seem as though he's sending in the troops because he sees we are close to shutting down that facility. Very convenient. So, we're not going to stop. We're going to keep standing up for Shawnee and our neighbors in this neighborhood, and we're going to keep standing up for immigrants in Portland. All right, next up, we're going to hear from Cole with the Freedom Road Socialist.
Shame! First it was Los Angeles back in June, then Washington, D.C., then Chicago, and now here in the City of Roses, the place we call home. Have in common. They are all cities with history. The announcement that he would be sending troops here, as we mentioned before, and it's no coincidence that Trump's troop surge was announced so soon. Chicago, he's trying to make an example out of us. We're not going to take it lying down. We're going to rise up and shame! They say to leave it up to them, to put our heads in the sand, to pretend like nothing's happening. All while every day is another day that every single one of our immigrant brothers, sisters, and siblings are in imminent danger. Shame! This recent wave of National Guard deployments is another symptom of a U.S. empire in decline. It has been inclined for decades at this point, and the struggle for a new world free of oppression continues to sharpen and intensify day by day. But that new world will not be won through the courts. It will not be won by asking nicely. It will be won by the masses organizing in the streets, taking power for ourselves, and building that world with our own hands. Make no mistake, we are in a class war between the working class and its allies on one side and the monopoly capitalist class on the other. The more the monopoly capitalist class begins to lose that war, the more the mask will begin to slip. Donald Trump represents which is exactly why we cannot afford to ignore what's happening. When we see a fire, we don't want to put it out. We want to grab the gasoline. In D.C., there are near constant cop watches to track where ICE and the National Guard are. In Chicago, thousands week after week. And in Portland, we're going to take the United struggle. Workers of the
Right, thank you so much, Cole. We're getting really close to when we're gonna march to ICE. Woo! We're gonna show those monsters what we're made of. Contra Las Deportaciones, an immigrant rights organization that helped put this on today. Well, led the effort.
Thank you, everyone. In our city. Right back. Sending troops to enact order into the city, but we know shame. And the troops leave. ICE out of port. ICE out of port. History is ours and the people make history. The clowns in power know this and they want to. Community Self-Defense Coalition in LA that formed after raids began early this year to the coalition against Trump in Chicago, which helped deter the decision to deploy troops. The fight is just getting started. We are not even to 1 year into this. DHS, all these reactionary institutions will only get more emboldened, but we have them outnumbered. We have nothing to lose but our chains. The people united will I said the people united will never be defeated.